Hey everybody, Jonathan Mayer here, and I'm back with another unboxing. This time we have our quarterly All Elite crate. We get this 4 times a year, so every 3 months you're getting this. If you've watched any of my videos before, thank you so much. But if this is the first one that you've stumbled across, or your second one, thank you so much for finding me. If you enjoy this at the end of it, I'd love if you throw a like on the video. You know, go back and throw a comment or something on a video from 5 years ago. That's when I started these things, and I'd enjoy seeing that. But without any further ado, let's explain a little bit what we have with this crate, and let's crack it open because that's the reason you're here. So this is a mystery crate. We don't know exactly what's in it, but we've got ideas. You know, we know the type of items, and we know the wrestlers generally that are going to make up those items. Every quarter, we're going to get 2 t-shirts. We're going to get a micro brawler, an autographed 8x10. You know you're going to go get those things. You're going to get a lapel pin. And then I think there's like 4 or 5 other items as well. But you're always going to get those items. It's just a matter of what wrestlers make up those items. Now with this All Elite crate, you know, put out by our friends up at Pro Wrestling Tees, there is also a chance at a golden ticket. So you may get 2 front row tickets to any edition of Dynamite. So that's, you know, I've never won it, but people have won that. Let's take a look and see who's going to be in this crate. And then let's just go straight to busting it open. We're expecting something from, now the card is always subject to change, but they put this out, you know, 3 months ago. They said that we should expect something from Kris Statlander, the House of Black, or whatever they're known by now, you know, with Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and Julia Hart, Will Ospreay, Hangman Adam Page, Timeless Tony Storm, and Swerve Strickland. So we're gonna get something from those people, probably somebody else, and let's bust into it and see what we got here. So we've got our tape here. We'll slice that open. And the first thing that we have is our card. It's gonna go over, you know, what we got in the box. So we'll look at that and see what things are named, but you don't wanna look at that first usually, because you kinda want this to be a surprise. Now, the first thing I see is a red t-shirt. You know, we're accustomed to seeing black t-shirts with wrestling, but sometimes they throw in other colors as well, which is nice. I see our red shirt here, and it says, that's cool, I like it, Whose House? Does that say Swerve's house underneath? Yeah, that's Swerve Strickland. That's neat, I like it. It doesn't have a picture of his face on it, but it is Swerve. You know, not my favorite shirt by any means, but it's passable. Next up, we're gonna go straight to the next shirt because it's here. It is black. Now, we do have the wrestler's face on this one, but I don't mind so much. She's probably the best thing going in professional wrestling. We have Timeless Tony Storm. So that is a cool shirt. I will wear that. I think we all love Tony Storm. Next up, we're going to go to our micro brawler because it is here. And I see an item in there upside down that's kind of making me laugh. We'll see what that is. But let's look at our micro brawler. It is Kris Statlander. You know, kind of a stoic face there, but that's the way she is. You know, a lot of the times she does no nonsense. I'll bust this open so we can look at it a little closer. But there we go, Kris Statlander. I like Kris Statlander. It maybe not the best likeness on this micro brawler, but we'll take a closer look at that. All right, next item here. Looks like we have a magnet. I think we got a magnet last time too. We have a magnet with Swerve and Hangman on it. AEW All Out. You know, put that on your refrigerator or toolbox or filing cabinet. You know, whatever you might have it. A magnet will stick to. We're going to go ahead and go to this next item that made me chuckle a little bit when I saw it. I mean, it's funny. What the heck am I going to do with this? But we have a little guitar, and it says Jeff Jarrett on it. You know, we know Jeff Jarrett came out with a guitar. He hit people over the head with them. It says The Last Outlaw Jeff Jarrett. Now, it doesn't seem like it's a breakable guitar. That's a little silly. Okay, next up, we are going to grab, now I think we got some of these last time or a couple times ago, the friendship bracelets. We got ones that just said PWT on them. This time we have a couple in here that say Harley Cameron and Feel the Wrath. So there we go there. I do enjoy Harley Cameron. Next up, we got a few more items in here. This next item is our Will Ospreay item. We have a patch that says Bruv. Now, I've never actually sewn those patches on anything, but in a few cases, I've kind of put some sticky tape on the back and then, used them kind of as a sticker. But those are cool, sew it on a backpack or something. The t-shirts really pay for this box. So some of these tchotchke items, we're not going to use. There's some that are great that we do use. A few of them here I'm not going to use. But just thinking, I got the 2 t-shirts, so it's all kind of a win after that. Next up here, we have our lapel pin. And it, very hard to read. And it has whatever the new names are. I think it's the Hounds of Hell. That's the name of, Brody King and those guys. But it's real tough font to read. It's cool looking, but it's hard to know what exactly it is. And now last but not least, and then I will circle back around here, show the micro brawler a little closer and things. We have our signed 8x10. I usually say if you go through process of elimination of that list initially, maybe we can figure out who it is. I think we've gotten something from everybody on that list so far. So let's see who we have here. We have, not the most popular wrestler. And it's bad that I'm not even I think it's Matt Taven. I know he's been around for a while. Respect him as a professional wrestler, but I don't know his work all that much. But I believe it's Matt Taven. As you can see, kind of a lackluster box. Most of the things I've been saying, I don't know. But the Timeless Toni Storm shirt, I think, is my favorite item. Let's go back through here and see what we've got. So we have our Matt Taven, unless I'm saying that wrong. I'm just going to go ahead and take a look. I can take a peek at that. Yeah, Matt Taven, that's his name. That's our autographed 8x10. Now, I've got a few 8x10s hung up around the room. Usually those are going to be ones that I got in person. They have a little more meaning, but I have a nice book that I put all these in, I can look back on someday. We have our little guitar here with Jeff Jarrett, the Last Outlaw Jeff Jarrett. That would be a cool item if you had him sign it, maybe, if you didn't have a figure to have him sign. We have our lapel pin, the Hounds of Hell, I believe. We have our Bruv patch. Our Harley Cameron, a couple of these friendship. I've got a lot of these bracelets. I don't know, friendship bracelet, candy bracelets, you might call them. These are pre-made. A lot of times you get ones that your friends made for you. We have a magnet here with Swerve giving Hangman, a move on right there, a pile driver right on the cinder block. Now here we've got Kris Statlander. So we're going to open this up. You may have heard me say before, this is resealable packaging brought on by the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast guys. So you kind of just pop this back here a little bit. The card will slide out, but then you could reseal it if you wanted. Our other brawlers that we get in our pro wrestling crates have cards on the back you can cut out. This is just a bio card. So it says Kris Statlander. She's 5'9" from Long Island, New York. Her debut was November 18th, 2016. So it does say Statlander real small there, on her chest. The gear looks very similar to what she wears. And the face has, like a lip ring there. But it's just it's a miss for me. I really like Kris Statlander, but I don't think that's the best micro brawler. So, okay. Don't mean to be too negative here, just being realistic with it. And then I think all we got left is our shirts. And then we'll take a look at what that card says. We have our Timeless Toni Storm shirt. Like I said, she's probably the most popular male or female wrestler going today. She's really great. I like that shirt a lot. And then we have our Swerve shirt. I'm not a real huge fan of red, but you know, I'll wear that. Whose house? Swerve's house. And that's that. We looked at our card here. If you wanted to, I don't really sell these items. You know, sometimes I give them to my friends and things like that. But a lot of people will kind of finance their crate by selling a couple of the things, you know, on the different marketplaces. And then you need to know how to look it up. So that Swerve shirt is just called Whose House, and then it says leopard next to it because it kind of had the leopard print. The Tony Storm t-shirt is just called Timeless. Our Chris Statlander Micro Brawler. Sometimes there's a chase version of that. There's not this time. It doesn't say. Our Will Ospreay Bruv patch. Hangman versus Swerve Magnet. Everything's pretty straightforward. Our Matt Taven autograph. The Hounds of Hell lapel pin. Sometimes there's a chase version of that. It doesn't say that there is here, though. Our Jeff Jarrett mini guitar. And our Harley Cameron bracelet. And then they give us a code for 10% off our next order. So, kind of a lackluster crate, in my opinion. I know we've heard that. People have been saying that a lot lately. It's hard to keep these up, even when you're doing it quarterly or bi-monthly with the other ones, but not my favorite one. But hey, if you didn't purchase it, you didn't have to. You could just live vicariously through me. You know, there's things I enjoy here. I'll wear the shirts. But see me back next time for my All Elite or my next Pro Wrestling crate, which should be coming up here soon. You'll see another one of these All Elite crates in like 3 months. And thanks for watching so much. Peace.